So what I worked on PlanetSide 2, I work on combat feel, which is basically anything infantry related, like the weapons, the basic balance of the game, and tuning from that point. My name, of course. Sorry, I forgot about that. Jimmy Wisenhunt. Been a very, very, very busy last few days getting ready for launch. And yeah, that's about it. I did play the original. I come from an FPS background, but I didn't come from a heavy PlanetSide background. I came from Counter-Strike and Quake competitively for about 13 years. But no, I definitely know the game well. It's an iconic game, so it's kind of hard to ignore that. Definitely had a big hand in what the future of FPS was going to be. We had a pretty good idea of what made the game great, and you know, what really needed to be improved on, and that was kind of what I really enjoy about my job. Is, you know, a lot of us felt, and a lot of players agree, is that the weapons in PlanetSide 1 just the gunplay wasn't the best. I mean, it really had the MMO elements, it had these crazy, massive, huge battles, and some really great things. But we wanted to make sure that we kept that epic feeling and even improved on it as far as communication goes, teamwork, and made sure, of course, I mean, being in a day and age of so many modern FPSs, that it was up to par this time around. Sure, yeah, definitely, because I mean, anytime it's like any other scene. I mean, you deal with a veteran group of players that are so attached to their game. Going in and changing those things while we are taking feedback is actually pretty complicated, because you get so used to something over the years, something that's been out that long, and it's hard to explain why something may need to change into something it needs to be and why it's better for the game. The reason that's difficult is, as I found since I started working for SOE, is we receive and act on more community feedback than any developer I've seen. So I'd say that was one of the bigger challenges, is moving the right direction. The feel of the weapons has been a very long process, and by feel I mean I'm a big fan of making sure that as a player and playing FPS, or even if you're new to the game, that by firing a weapon you're understanding how it works. It's not what we call like a cone of fire type thing. It's not you shoot the gun and a bullet goes in a direction and the gun doesn't tell you, it just flies off this way but you're aiming over here. That is a problem I see in a lot of more modern games. So that's what I've had my hand in for several months now, is solely making sure that everything makes sense and that it's learnable. Players don't have to watch videos. They don't have to have someone tell them how it works. They can learn it themselves. How did I get into this industry? That's actually a very complicated answer. I didn't start off in design. I didn't think I was going to get into design. I came from the esports scene, I guess. It wasn't esports back then. It was like 1999. I was 12, 13 years old, and was competitive, and convinced my parents to start allowing me to go out to these different tournaments, and started winning a little bit of money, and beyond that moved into commentating, so like shoutcasters and that sort of thing you see at WCG and things like that, and started giving feedback and contracting with a few companies on, I had a podcast where we explained a lot of what may be wrong in the FPS industry, and how it's kind of become stale and stagnant and people weren't doing innovative things anymore. And I was enjoying that. I was doing okay at all that stuff and really enjoying traveling. And I get a message from SOE actually saying that they'd like me to come through and take a look at the game. And that was it. It was a really long kind of turny, just crazy S-curved road, but ended up here. What game made me want to get into this industry? There were a lot. I mean, it was more of kind of like a culmination of things, and seeing why I really enjoyed this game. Like maybe why I really felt obligated to play a game after I learned it, and like why I enjoyed it so much, really digging into that. And maybe another game then kind of taught me, well, people always do the same things, but every year you see this really innovative thing come out. What are causing people to stay with the game long enough to really dig that deep? So I mean, it's kind of a weird way to answer the question, but yeah, a lot of FPSs. The first games, now this is actually, I've only been doing this with SOE for about 4 months now. I've had my hand in Counter-Strike Global Offensive and just various mods over the years, nothing too noteworthy. Do I ever have people kind of say, like, why didn't we do this? Yeah, I mean, sure. We get that a lot, and I encourage that. I encourage people to say, I don't like this, you should have done it this way, because, you know, I can't think of everything. The dev team can't think of everything. There's a lot of great minds out there that might have an idea that we don't. Through a beta process, it's really complicated because we have so many things in our game, and a lot of it's not in the game during beta. So it might be balanced or it might be done for a reason that the players haven't seen yet. So that's been a little bit of a complicated process. But no, I definitely see that all the time. Oh, absolutely. We take literally everything we see into consideration. Even if 15 people see it and they're like, well, we read it, don't think it's a good idea, somebody else in the other part of the office, hey, I saw this thread, I really like it, and it turns into a conversation. I can't name a time where you didn't see at least 70% of the office having their form up on their second monitor, PlanetSide 2 forums or Twitter, so they're always reaching us. Day-to-day basis, it varies. It just kind of depends on what stage you're in, but a lot of data work, man. Just come in and take a look at what's happening in the game, who's killing who with what, and we look at a lot of, this is kind of what I specialize in, is looking at what someone says. They might say the recoil on this particular weapon is too strong. In reality, it might not be that the recoil is too strong, it's just that we're not showing how strong it is, so they don't know how to compensate for that. They don't understand, which is not their fault for saying it, it's our fault for not communicating it properly. So that's a lot of what I do, is trying to translate people's concerns into what's actually happening. Favorite part of the job? Man, that's rough. I've actually enjoyed a lot of it. My favorite part of the job has probably got to be seeing people taking an initial product, like something we put out that they might hate, but by taking feedback and putting in of course, our own special, you know, spices and such, coming out to something they really enjoy. So something that I have a hand in, people are loving. That's seriously my favorite part of it. Advice for people that want to get in this industry: learn, excel. That's number one. I know that sounds very strange, but I'll leave it at that. That, and also whatever. Just know that, like, it doesn't take, you know, you don't have to go through everything, like the set out path that you read online and all these things. I mean, like I said, I had a podcast that SOE was interested in. Apparently, I had no idea, and it landed me here. So I don't know if just stay involved in the industry. Like, take the jobs you can, no matter what it is, whether it's just production for a company, shake hands, go to all the events you can, and bug them to death, man. Put your name out there. You guys should be playing PlanetSide 2 for several reasons. I'm going to name the biggest ones, my favorite parts of the game. It is one of the few games over the last, I would say, 15 years that has had an opportunity to seriously innovate what FPS is all about, and the MMO world. So it's taken two of my favorite genres, put them into one, and really improved on both. And I mean, that's about it. I mean, once again, I haven't seen a game or a company that's willing to make so many innovations in a genre of such similar games. This is something very, very different, and I know you'll enjoy it.